Hey guys, this is Jimmy from Primer Does Best, and I'm out here playing. Actually, I'm not playing. Well, I guess I am. If you enjoy doing it, it's not really work, is it? It's playing. I'm cleaning up cars and trucks. I've already cleaned up this 2009 Hyundai Accent. Cleaned it up inside and out, trunk, the whole 9 yards. And now I've got these two cleaned up. This is a 2008 Lincoln MKZ. Here comes my plane that always flies over whenever I do a video. Same plane. And my 2003 Chevy cat-eye truck, Silverado cat-eye truck. Okay, here's the question I'm going to ask you. I'm trying to get so you can kind of see both of them. Okay, now this car, the question is, if you was going to go on vacation, my wife and myself, it's just us two. If you was going to go on vacation, maybe go to Florida or someplace like that, which vehicle would you drive? Now this is 2008 Lincoln MKZ. It has 80,814 actual miles on it. And I'll show you the car in a minute. This one has 27 or 37,000 miles on it. But they both run great. Just had the oil changed in them. And I know this one has a lot of miles. Well, it does, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't use oil. It doesn't do anything except what it's supposed to do. It runs great. AC works great. Everything's good on both vehicles. And I had the guy that changed the oil in this one. One of those, I go to one place to get my oil changed. You know, they do it quick, check all the fluids, tire pressure, all that stuff. And one of the guys is my friend that works there. And I said, if you don't mind, I said, would you go down the steps, get under the truck and look and see. I said, I'm thinking about driving this to Florida. And he said, he come back in a few minutes and he said, I checked all under it, everything looks good. He said, you have a little bit of an oil leak around the rear main, which that doesn't bother me at all. I can't even tell you see all these spots, but it's from penetrol and everything like that. But anyway, so my wife was kind of for driving this one, but I'm kind of for driving this one. Now they both have full coverage. Let me say that. They both have full coverage. And I don't know which one is worth more at this point. I know trucks sell for higher, that's 2003, than a 2008 MKZ probably. I don't know, I haven't checked. It doesn't matter. But, I mean, I'm not afraid to go anywhere in them. Now, the reason I'm asking you this is because this car, let me pause this and I'll raise the hood, okay? Okay, I went ahead and raised both hoods because I'm wanting to show you. This car has a 3.5 in it, 80,000 miles. On these, I do my homework before I buy a car or a truck. I do my homework to see what people think about them, blah blah blah, and or problem areas. But I didn't know that this particular car, these 3.5s, now this is in a, what would this be? Ford's version would be the Fusion, I think, the Fusion. I could be wrong, and I probably am. But I think they have 3.5s, but the water pump, my point is the water pump is, in my opinion, right in the center of the engine. So if the water pump went out, going down the highway, going to, say like you're going to Florida, which is what we're thinking, it might be kind of hard to get it fixed and getting a part there. You'd have to wait extra days if you get stranded or whatever. Now this thing runs great, and we drive it. I don't show you every time that we do drive this car, but it runs and drives great. We have no issues with this car whatsoever. Heated and air conditioned seats and all that other kind of stuff, and it's just a really nice car. And I'll show you around the car. That's got, I put brand new Michelin tires on it. And these are 17s, you know, they look like 15s to me. I guess I'm used to looking at 20s. But such a huge difference. At the time, you know, I thought 17s were huge just a few years ago. But not anymore. This is it. I mean, it's the man that had this car before I bought it, he was an older gentleman. And he said he got rid of it and bought a SUV because he was having trouble getting in and out of this car. And I noticed I'm starting to have trouble too. Sometimes I hit my noggin right in this area somewhere. But he said it's a good driving car. Said there's nothing wrong with the car. You know, I told him I was interested in buying it. And it was on one of my friend's car lots. And this car is from Knoxville, Tennessee. But I mean, he said, don't be afraid to go anywhere in it. Said it runs and drives great. And he didn't lie. I mean, it's been a great car for us. We've had it several years. And we traded in a Mustang, 2001 Mustang GT 5-speed for it. You know, I guess I've turned into grandpa and grandma mode because I always keep towels to try to keep the sun off the seats and stuff so they don't split from sun damage. But this thing sits in the garage anyway. But all the things that I kind of used to make fun of when I was younger, I find myself doing it now. I guess when you go to work and pay for something, you know, you work, make payments, and you pay for something, you start thinking, I need to take care of that. So I guess I've turned into that guy. I'll show you the trunk. As you're looking at it, tell me which one would you drive? Okay, this is the whole point of this video. Now I can clean up some of this mess in here. Where I don't trust regular jacks that come with a vehicle, so I always carry a floor jack. Got me a 4-way lug wrench, and some of this stuff I actually don't know what it is. Battery cables, you know, just different things. And you know, we bought this car, my wife and I did, to go places in when we retired. But my mother-in-law, who recently passed away in October of 2023, you know, we haven't been anywhere in like 13 or 14 years. And, you know, because I was always afraid. My wife was willing to go, but I was not, because my mother-in-law, she just had us to take care of her. And I just didn't want to. I didn't want to go somewhere and then, you know, something happened and you have to immediately turn around and drive 8, 9, 10 hours back home wherever you decided to go. So we didn't go anywhere. My mother-in-law, she called every day, several times a day, and my wife called her as well. I mean, they were best friends. And, you know, and that's great. I'm not begrudging it, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying this is why this car has sat for so long in the garage. Now it runs good, you know, good stereo system. I mean, my wife and I drove this the other day, and I passed a vehicle, and I mashed the accelerator down, and this thing, I was surprised. I mean, it'll giddy up, you know, believe it or not, even with this 3.5, and it's front wheel drive. But you know, I got front end aligned, everything's good on it as far as I know. But I hate. Reason I'm asking all this is my wife and I had an Oldsmobile Cutlass. It's a 1998. It's a good car. It run good, but it was one of those cars. I mean, I bought it used. I bought it from a guy at my work when I was working, and he'd put another engine in it. It's a 3.1, and I didn't have it long. The transmission went out, so I had to put a new transmission in. Now remember, it's a 1998. Good car. And I've got it on videos here on this channel. But, you know, we put new tires on it, had the front end aligned, and, you know, it just got to the point it would nickel and dime you to death. And on our way to Florida, the last time we went, 13 or 14 years ago, the pulley for the power steering broke. It's made of plastic, and it broke. So we wasted 2 days of our vacation waiting for that what I just call it, pulley to come in. So that was 2 days, without a car, and and at a mechanic's shop that I did not. I mean, he didn't know me and I didn't know him. I'm not saying everybody is a crook or anything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you're taking a chance of, who is this guy honest, or when you come back, is your car going to be there, or is there just going to be a bunch of lug nuts left? You know what I mean? Or, like I said, the water pump scares me. Okay, then you have this. This is why I'm preferring to drive this. It's a 2003, like I said, Chevy Cat-Eye truck. I bought this used. I've never had a new car or truck in my life. I'm always 10 years behind, 15 years behind on new vehicles. But I got brand new tires on this. These are Iron Man tires. They're good tires. And this truck, believe it or not, will giddy up with you. I mean, when you get used to driving this, around town for gas mileage and stuff, when you get in this, I mean, this thing goes down the road great. The cruise works great. The air works great. Everything works great. And, it's a 5.3. I went ahead. Oh, let me show you this before I forget to tell you. I'll show you the insides while I'm here because the sun's catching up to me, guys. I'm going to have a new belt put on, and I'm going to save my old belt that's on here. I'm going to have one of my mechanic friends to check the truck out, make sure everything looks good. But my point is, if the water pump goes out on this truck, let me show you the truck. It's a nice truck for, I mean, when you've drove stuff like I have, majority of my life, that some of them were pretty decent, but I have drove work cars where, my dad and I put, stupid bugs, my dad and I put sheet metal in some of my work cars just because so my feet wouldn't fall out onto the road. I've had, my point is, I've had some really clunky work cars, but that's all I could afford, to have was a car like that. Car and trucks, I mean, I've had them, barely would run, but good enough to get me to work and back. My point is, I think I could go to a local auto parts store and probably be able to get an alternator, or, and this original one here, alternator or a belt, or a water pump or whatever. They probably have it in the store if they're any kind of a store, because I mean 5.3s are everywhere. 5.3s, I don't think not so much. I mean, that's just my opinion. And I mean, it runs good. I just got done checking the oil again. I mean, it doesn't use oil. None of them use oil. I mean, they're good vehicles. Let me shut this hood. Man, it's getting hot outside here. Let me close this one, guys. Hang on. Anyway, I figured up this thing gets about, I don't know, 15 to 16 miles to a gallon. And that one gets like 22, 24, 25, 26, something like that. Depends if you're on the highway, straight driving or not. This one might get 16 or 17, maybe 18. If I just get on the interstate and it's, smooth sailing, just put it on cruise at 70 and let it go to town. But in this vehicle, I can throw anything I want to in the back of this bed cover that locks. And I mean, I still got a back seat. I can put luggage and stuff in, But I'm thinking, y'all might think I'm crazy. Well, Jimmy, what'd you buy that Lincoln for? Well, at the time, remember I said we had a 2003 Mustang. I'm sorry, 2001 Mustang GT. Oh man, that's a sharp car. 5-speed. I mean, I'm not bragging on my own stuff, but I guess I am. That was a sharp car, but remember I said 5-speed, and I'm 67. So, I mean, it's been several years ago since we traded it for this. But after a while of driving a 5-speed, and I've told my wife, I said, boy, if we ever go to Florida and I got to shift a 5-speed all the way from where we live in East Tennessee to Florida or any place else, Alabama. You know, I got some relatives, and you know, it's just gonna. I said it's gonna get old pretty quick, and so we traded it for this because we was trying to get ready for retirement. And boy, I'm glad I'm retired. The job I had, I did not like it. Hated it every moment. There were some good people there, and I enjoyed working with them, but boy, I hated my job. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's another story, another time. I'm not getting into all that, but okay, here's the question, guys. Would you drive one that parts are readily available? And there's nothing wrong with either one of these, nothing. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to take off anywhere in either one of them, but there's always, it's like having car insurance. You hope you don't never need it, but what if? Here's the same scenario. What if? What if the water pump went out in it? My mechanic told me to keep an eye on the oil. I mean, the other day I had excuse me, let me start again. The other day I had it at my mechanic friend, and you know, he took the oil cap off and looked at it. You know, it's clean as a whistle. This thing does everything it's supposed to do. But what if the water pump went out? And I have to find somebody in Florida that I don't know, you know, to put a water pump in the center of that engine. I think Lincoln must have put a water pump in the center, laid it on the ground, and built the car around it. Why they done that, I have no clue. Poor design. Whoever designed some of this stuff has no intentions ever, you know, of fixing anything themselves. But now this one, you know, I could be able to do it. You know, it's been a long time since I've done stuff like that. I mean, I can do little minor things, but now tearing half the motor out no, that's out. But like putting an alternator or something like that on, I'm just taking this around to my mechanic friends to make sure that both of these, whichever one we go in, will you know, I can get a part for it. And I was talking to one of my friends at the auto parts store too. Let me tell you this. Then I'm going to hush. If you just hang on just a minute. But he said, you know, said if they both run good, he said he would drive this one just because he said you can go in the auto parts store like the one where he works at, and you know, I mean, he just pulled the belt off, you know, and I bought it. And oh, let me show you this too. This might be important to you, maybe. I don't know, but I'll tell you anyway. He works at the AutoZone. Okay, most everybody has an AutoZone. Okay, this belt, he gave me the Duralast belt, and I took it to my mechanic guy that I was going to have him check the whole truck out. And you know, he immediately said, I think it might be time for you to put a new belt on. I said, well, I'll just let you do it. You check it out real good. So he had me a Duralast. He said, I don't want to put a Duralast on your truck. He said, they're not near as good as these. And these were like $20 more, but he said, you know, would you rather... He said, I know you, Jimmy. He said, you want to put the best on. And I do. I want the best you can get. You know, I don't want to have to go down the road, or my wife going down the road. I got that there so I remember to tell him when I take it to him next week. But anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that little tidbit of information. If you can't get OEM or they don't have it, Continental is your belt to get. But anyway, he said you can go to the auto parts store, AutoZone, you know, O'Reilly's, whatever, Advanced. You know, chances are they're going to have stuff for 5.3 because they're very common. They made them all these years, 4.8s, 5.3, 6.0s. And, you know, chances are you're going to be able to get an alternator and stuff. He told me to drive the truck to him, and I did. And he said, I just want to check your alternator. He said there's 2 different kinds of alternator stuff I didn't know. So he told me which alternator. I'm thinking about getting an alternator, alternator and a water pump. Of course, I already got the belt and maybe a few other little things. Take them on the trip with me, and if I have a problem, I've already got it. But he said it's not really necessary, Jimmy, because, you know, the auto parts store have it. So with this one, I'm not so sure. You know, I just don't think they're going to walk to the shelf and, you know, get a water pump. I just don't think so. I could be wrong. They might have 14 on the shelf, but I don't know. He just told me keep an eye on the oil. if you start seeing it looking kind of foamy or something like that, he said, well, it's probably too late. But anyway, the engine will be ruined. But anyway, I'm kind of thinking about this. But now y'all let me know. This got 80,000 and this has got nearly, I'll say 230, 237. This one has 80. Which one would you go to Florida in if you was going to go? I mean, they're both have new tires. I mean, they're both excellent vehicles. And I've thought about getting rid of this car a few times, but my wife, Mrs. PIB, really likes this car. And she told me, said, if we go in this one, she said, I'm not driving it. If we go in this one, she's not going to drive it either. But she said, if something happens to me, like one time we went to Florida, went to a big old fancy restaurant, you know, before you leave or something, you know, we try to at least one time while we're there. We normally stay a week or so. And, you know, I went, when our two boys lived with us, we went out to eat at one restaurant, you know, one time, one special occasion to go eat someplace fancy. You know, my wife and them got fish and I ordered steak. That was a mistake on my part because it was a fish restaurant, but they offered sirloin steak. I don't ever order a sirloin steak, but I thought, well, I'm going to go out on a limb and just one special time while everybody was still, the boys are still living with us and all that. I said, give me a sirloin steak, sir. You know, well done, blah, blah, blah. And I got it and ate it. Well, about 20 minutes later, I started feeling funny. And by golly, we got back to the motel and I was sick. Oh my goodness, I was sick for a day and a half. That just about killed me. Anyway, that's another story another time. But my point is that my wife said if something happens to me, she's not driving this truck. And I said, Miss PIB, I said, all you got to do is pick a lane and sit in it. Swing a little bit wider than you would in something like this. I said, you're good to go. I mean, well, anyway, that's another story another time. I talk too much. Okay, here we go, guys. Which one would you drive if he's going to Florida or Alabama or someplace? 2008 Lincoln MKZ or 2003 Chevy Silverado truck? Oh, I was telling you, I was figuring up the mileage, gas mileage. Okay, I was figuring 1,300 miles. You know, round trip, 1,300. I just made up a number. 1,300 miles in both of these, and I said this one gets, I think I said 22 or 24 miles a gallon. I said this one got 14. And gas, I imagined gas being $3 a gallon. I was just trying to figure out the difference. It was going to be $2.89 for this and $1.70 or $1.80 or something for this. So it was $100 difference. But at the same time, look how much more you're getting. I mean, with this. And you get the reliability of maybe getting a part if you need it. Am I crazy or what? Y'all let me know in the comments. And this might be a stupid, boring video to y'all. And if you've hung in here this long, thank you. But I'm just trying to make the best decisions. You know, I hate going someplace and I don't know anybody. You know, I don't know. I guess I'm getting old. I don't trust too many people. If I don't have Tim Dixon at Gas X Chop Shop or GM Tim 38 Brian on YouTube, if I don't have them near me, I kind of freak out. I'm just exaggerating a little bit, guys. But my point is, which one would you drive? Y'all let me know in the comments. And, you know, I just think, between me and you, I don't know if my wife will watch this video, but if she does, I'm thinking this one. Plus, I mean, it's got little dings and scrapes and stuff on this old truck. It's a truck. You know, it looks decent. It runs great. And, you know, I don't know. But I'm thinking this one. Y'all let me know what you think. Tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if I'm stupid. Which one would you drive if you had the keys to both of them and said, for example, go to Florida? Which one would you drive? To me, this one's actually more comfortable. And put it on cruise and let it eat. But, you know, that one is too, so I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. I know I've rambled on long enough. I just wanted to ask your opinion. I value y'all's opinion. Constructive comments. Let me know what you think. And I appreciate y'all listening to an old goofy guy like me talk about which one would you drive. Sometimes I amaze myself, and I amaze myself sometimes at the things I tell y'all, but I just feel like y'all's my friends. So thanks for watching, guys. You're watching Prime It Is Best. My name is Jimmy, and yeah, dumb wasper. That's one of them red ones too. My name is Jimmy, and I'm on Facebook, Prime It Is Best, Instagram, Prime It Is Best. Got a second YouTube channel called Man on a Budget, and I'm on Instagram, Man on a Budget 1. Y'all have a blessed day today. Look here, what a beautiful day. I mean, this looks like the sky is just never ending, like you could just, I don't know. I'm just amazed at the Lord. The Lord made everything, didn't he? I mean, the grass, I mean, he made water, clouds, and everything. Everything that you see, he made out of nothing. Out of nothing. And I just think that's, I'm easily amazed, I guess, but isn't our Lord and Savior awesome, Jesus Christ? Oh my goodness, I'm just so happy. And we belong to him. Be joyful because you belong to the Lord. Be joyful, and I am joyful. You should be too. Say prayers for those guys that are less fortunate than you and I are, and please subscribe to the channel Prime It Is Best and Man on a Budget. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you liked the video, and look forward to your constructive comments. Y'all stay safe. God bless y'all. Catch you in the next one, guys. You won't miss nothing if you like and subscribe. I'll see y'all later.